Dee is retiring, so I thought I'd celebrate by taking our parents to France. I'm borrowing your platinum card for the trip. I'm going to live it up on your credit card. What a trip. What are you talking about? Just what I said. No, I don't get what you mean by just what I said. Please explain. We need to hurry. I get it. We'll go soon. Sorry, I have to move on now. I'll hear the details when I get back. Just one thing, though. Oh, the credit card won't work? Well, my husband, Park, took my credit card to take our in-laws on a trip. I put up with a lot from Parker, but this seems like the perfect opportunity. I'm going to make sure Parker learns a lesson. When he returns from the trip, he'll have some big regrets. I'm Leah, a 32-year-old company employee. I graduated from a prestigious university and got a job at a major company. I've received good reviews despite being only 32. My income is enough to support Parker, who doesn't work, and a child if we had one, but that's hypothetical. We've been married for 2 years and don't have kids yet, but we're thinking about having one soon. I should be happy in my newlywed life, but I'm not. The part about having a child is hypothetical, but Parker not working isn't. I didn't have dinner because I ate snacks earlier. That's fine, but what about your job search? I didn't go for an interview today. I stayed home and looked at job websites. Parker quit his job a year ago and has been job hunting since. To be precise, he's been working part-time but doesn't stick with any job for long. He starts a job, quits soon after, relaxes for a while, then looks for another part-time job. You're looking at part-time jobs. Again, I think you should focus on full-time jobs. Why not stop looking for part-time roles and just focus on that? I know, but there is a right time for everything. I wish Parker could find a full-time position, but there's a reason he can't be pushed too hard. He quit his last job because of a conflict over work policies with his boss. That boss was notoriously difficult in the office. Parker stood up for himself, but he ended up losing the approval of his colleagues and his boss. It was up to the boss as the office representative, backed by his colleagues. But when the conflict escalated, his colleagues sided with the boss, not with Parker. As a result, Parker lost his boss's approval. He felt betrayed by his colleagues and found it hard to stay, so he left the company. Parker's dinner is ready. Can you bring it here? Thanks. Then it's all yours. I've got nothing but time, joking about that. Parker smiled, but it didn't seem genuine. After another 2 weeks, he started job hunting. I have an interview today. Is it your top choice? Yeah, I'm going to get this job and start over. I'm rooting for you. Do your best. A month after quitting, Parker began job hunting in earnest. Even after a month, he couldn't find a job. Why am I? I've been rejected again. It's all my previous company's fault. Don't get frustrated. You'll find something good. Of course I'm frustrated. I did nothing wrong. Parker might not be entirely blameless, but what happened at his last job wasn't entirely his fault either. Still quitting because of interpersonal issues doesn't look good to potential employers. It's like I can't do anything right anymore. That's not true. You have an interview tomorrow. Let's work. On your resume, it's pointless. I'm not going tomorrow. Repeated rejections wore Parker down, but after a while, he became defiant. One day, I came home to find torn-up resumes on the living room floor. I knew the interview didn't go well, so I chose my words carefully. I asked him to throw the trash in the bin. I said I was done with job hunting. We could live on Layla's income. I don't need to work. Indeed, we could live on my income alone. Some people don't work and do a great job as a full-time homemaker, but that's not Parker's situation. He's just avoiding unpleasant realities. I understand his reluctance to work after the bad experience at his last job and the unsuccessful job hunt. So, I decided to be patient with Parker for a while. Parker, you still haven't found a job. What's your plan? I've worked hard before. This is just an extended break. I'm not just resting. I'm studying for the future, which is good to hear. I live near my in-laws, Parker's mother and father, Law and Nicholas. They started visiting us more often after he quit his job. They were probably worried about him. Hearing that Parker was preparing for his next job, they seemed relieved. But that was a blatant lie. Can you buy beer on your way home? It's running out again. You drink too much. Try to cut down. I won't ask you again. I'll buy it myself. Parker wasn't studying or job hunting. He spent his days watching TV and drinking beer. He probably didn't want others to know he was unemployed. If I told my in-laws the truth, it might hurt Parker too much. So I decided to stay silent about whatever excuses Parker made. But he stopped job hunting for over 3 months. I finally decided to speak up. Parker, maybe it's time to start job hunting. You seem more settled now. It's been less than half a year since the incident at my last job. You want me to work again after what happened? I just thought the break was a bit long. Stop nagging. You can't understand my feelings since your job is going well. I have my own struggles. You know, everyone has work problems and relationship issues. We all try to solve them. Let's work through this together. I get it. I'll look for a job. Okay, Parker walked out. In the middle of the conversation, it seemed like my words had hurt him, but he agreed to look for a job, which I saw as a positive step. I decided to apologize when he was feeling better. I got a job because of your encouragement. It's at a nearby supermarket, so you'll need to learn and work hard. It's just part-time, so there's no need to work too hard. Part-time or not, it's still a job. Do you have a problem with that? I wanted to say something. I decided to watch and see if even a little work could be a step to his recovery. I'm home, Parker. You're back. How's the job? I quit the supermarket part-time. It hasn't been that long. I was a college student, and there was this student who was bossy and told me to always put the vegetable boxes at the bottom in storage. It felt like harassment. That student was likely just teaching Parker the job in the workplace. Even a college student is a senior. Parker kept finding, and Parker has a history of quitting jobs, so he hasn't been able to keep one for very long. It's already been a year. Parker, what job are you doing now? I'm working part-time at a pub. I've never worked in food and beverage before, but it's interesting, and I think I've finally found my calling. That's great, but isn't the income from a part-time job in a restaurant kind of like love? Haha, that's fine. Am I? I'm currently apprenticing with the goal of going independent. I'm planning to own my place someday. The income is small now, but I'm working hard for my goal. Take this, treat yourself to something nice for once. I decided to be a bit firmer than before. Hey Parker, it's getting late. I'm at a good part in the movie. You can pause it. I grabbed the remote from the table, paused the movie, and forced a conversation. It's just pressing when you pause at the best part. What is it, Parker? You're 35, right? You know that's prime working age, don't you think? Don't you think about the future? Don't you think about spending all day at home drinking and just watching TV? The future is full of possibilities. People over 35 who aren't working have a different perspective on life. Many people enjoy life without a job. While work isn't everything, these people have something else they're dedicated to. You have something like that. You're upset about me not working. I'll look for another part-time job. Parker seems intent on only working part-time. Considering his reasons for leaving his job and his struggles with job hunting, I've been careful not to hurt him. But it's time for Parker. To bounce back, I need to be stricter. One day at work, I got a text from Parker. His dad's retiring, so we are going to France to celebrate, starting today. He borrowed your platinum card. He said he had to splurge on your credit card. I panicked and called him immediately. What do you mean, a trip? Just what I said. I don't get it. Just what I said. Please explain. So many things are wrong. Here, it's fine to celebrate Nicholas's retirement, but he should have consulted me before. Using my money and borrowing the credit card is basically like stealing. And why am I paying for a trip to France that I'm not going on? I bet Parker is bragging to his parents, claiming the money is from his savings. Thinking about it infuriates me, but one thing Parker said catches my attention. You said you borrowed a credit card, the one from our house. Yeah, I do have a platinum card. Some people think you need a high income for it, but that's not true. It's true that things like your credit history, income, and other factors matter, and you can build a good one in your 30s. The annual fee is high, but I use it for the benefits and points. I'm counting on you for the payment. Parker is really excited about his trip to France, and he's speaking to me in a provocative tone. I've been patient with Parker for a long time, but this seems like a good opportunity. He thinks he's clever taking my credit card and being all cheerful, but he's in for a surprise. What are you doing? We need to go. Got it. I'm coming. Sorry, I need to move on now. I'll hear the details when I get back. Just one more thing. That credit card you took won't work. What? That can't be right. It's in Lila's name, and the expiration date is this month. It's a short message, but it shouldn't be a problem. You're lying, right, Lila? You're lying to stop me from using the card, aren't you? It's so easy to see through a lie. The card expires this month, so I've already received a new one. What does that mean? I have 2 credit cards to use for a while now. Sometimes, when a new credit card is activated, the old one stops working. I've already started using the new card, so the one you took won't work. You're kidding, right? You think I'm lying? If you don't believe me, I can send you the URL to the credit card website, or you could just try using the card. It would be pretty funny to see you try to pay with a card that doesn't work. This credit card really won't work. Hey, hurry up. I hear his parents calling him from the background of the phone call. Parker seems too flustered to hear them on the phone. What should I do? I told them I'd pay for everything except the round-trip travel. They covered the flight. Dad felt bad about having all the trip costs covered. What should I do? I'm about to take a cab and I don't even have money for that. That's not my problem. You said you would pay for everything but the flight. If so, using my credit card in the first place was a mistake. Pay with your own money. How can I help you? Parker, you haven't been working. It's your fault for trying to look good by taking your parents on a trip without money. I'm at work, so I have to hang up now. I just wanted to tell you about the credit card. Wait, I hung up and returned to work. Parker, he's unable to pay even for the cab. He'll have to be. I got a call from Mila that night after I finished work. I heard from Parker that he tried to pay with your credit card and lied about working. I'm sorry for the trouble. Don't apologize, Mill. I'm sorry for the inconvenience about the credit card. Are you okay with the money? We'll cover this trip's cost when we get back. I'll make Parker apologize and find a job immediately. I'm sorry, Mila, but I'm thinking about getting a divorce. This is part of it, but Parker has been taking money from me for a while. I stopped giving him money to curb his drinking. He started a part-time job and bought his own alcohol, but the salary from part-time work shouldn't be enough for daily drinking. Parker was taking money from my wallet to buy alcohol. He took money from me repeatedly to buy alcohol. The amounts he took ranged from $4 to over the course of a year. The total came to around $40. I hadn't been strict with Parker, hoping he would eventually turn things around. But when he stole my credit card for his trip, it wasn't just about $42 anymore. The amount he took convinced me that he had no intention of improving. I respect your decision. Should I tell Parker about the divorce? I'll just tell him I want a divorce. We'll discuss the rest when he returns home. About an hour later, Parker called. I guess he heard about the divorce from Mila, but I'd asked her to wait until he got back to discuss it. I was just too exhausted. I didn't answer. The next morning, after work, I found Parker at home. He'd cut his trip short. I'll work properly now, he pleaded as I came in. Please don't leave me. He immediately apologized. He seemed sincere, but it was too late. He had a whole year to change, yet still asked for another chance. I had warned him repeatedly, yet he squandered every opportunity. I'm not going to give Parker another chance because he gave up on me. My mind is made up. Please leave. If you don't leave, should I move out? Only if you can afford the rent here. Parker fell silent. He didn't even have the money for next month's rent, let alone an income. My words and the reality of the impending divorce made him realize the severity of his situation. With nothing to his name, Parker seemed to be leaving the house, probably heading to his parents' house. I thought about asking if he had money for transportation, but Parker isn't a child. He should manage his own affairs, money or not. I sadly watched Parker leave the house. Parker went to his parents' house later. I received a call from my in-law, Laura. My in-laws let Parker stay for one night, but then asked him to leave the next. They thought he might become too reliant on them if he stayed, creating a situation where he must fend for himself. It must have been tough for them to send their son away, but they made a difficult decision for Parker's recovery. Parker came back to our house, pleading with me, please help me. I've got nowhere to go. You went and did it again. You're out on the street with no money. It's the result of your own actions. You need to handle it yourself. We all deal with our own hardships. Sometimes it's necessary to ask for help. But all you have done in the past year is abandon your responsibilities and do as you please. I didn't let Parker into the house and turned him away from the doorstep. The divorce eventually went through. Parker was reluctant, but with the support of his parents, it happened quicker than expected. I don't know what happened to Parker, but I guess he's still looking for a job and making excuses. I thought I'd feel lonely without him, but I didn't. I was stressed by his attitude and always careful not to hurt him. Not having to cater to him anymore has made my life more comfortable. I was unconsciously burdened by our life together. I'm relieved I didn't get dragged down with him. Now I can live without having to accommodate anyone else.